All right, it is game time. Welcome, everybody. This is our performance seminar for Wednesday, the 26th of February. It's our 6 p.m. session. And we have two students here with us, but I would like to invite Miss Ella to take the stage and open it up for us. So, Ella, when you're ready, can you go ahead, the nice loud voice, introduce yourself, the piece that you're playing, and who arranged it? Beautifully played there, Miss Ella. So, how was that performance for you? Would you say that ranks among your personal best performances? Sorry, Ella, you're going to have to speak a little closer to the microphone so we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so what about that performance stood out for you? Well, think of it this way. If you were in a piano competition and you were versing you from last week, you from last week turns up and plays this, and then you from today plays, who will end up winning? Do you think today's Ella or last week's Ella?
Today's.
Okay, and why? What difference? What does today's Ella have that last week's Ella doesn't have in her playing?
Dynamics.
What was that? Sorry?
Dynamics.
Dynamics. Yeah, nice. What else? What else have you injected into this performance?
Getting most of the notes correct.
What was that? Sorry?
Getting most of the notes correct.
Yeah, I thought so. So you got most of the notes correct, dynamics. Vibhuti, what else did you notice about Ella's playing that stood out to you?
What stood out to me was that the rhythm was really consistent throughout the whole piece.
Yeah, you're right about that. And because of that, it made it really easy to follow. Yeah, rhythm is a very important thing in music. It's the backbone, it's the spine for the music. And if it's wobbly, then it's not a very strong back, is it? So you want to make sure that you've got that in there. I also like the way that you put in little rits, right? You didn't play everything. Sometimes that you would start slowly and then build. Did you put those? Did you plan those, or did you just do those naturally, Ella? Where you do these little rits and you slowly speed up?
I tried to do it.
Is it something that you planned beforehand?
Yeah.
Do you practice speeding up slowly or slowing down?
Yeah. Hello.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah. Because it seemed like when you were playing it that you really meant to slow down, right? And it really meant for you to speed up. That was great. Cool. All right. So if anything, then What would you like to continue working on with this piece? What was that, sorry?
Maybe I can add more dynamics.
Yeah, I think the dynamics will come though by just creating more shape of these lines. Da, da, dum, da, 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 da. The higher it goes, the more crescendo that you can put into the music, right? And then this part here, ya da dum, dum, this is the highest point, isn't it? In the first three lines, this A, ya da 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 da. So just have a look. Have a look at how the melodies move. Figure out where the high points are. Figure out if it's going up or down, and then just follow that. Follow the line. Yeah. If anything as well, you could bring up more of the right hand. Yeah, just more right hand, more melody. All right, cool. Thanks, Ella. That was great. Thanks for sharing. Miss Vibhuti, go ahead and introduce yourself and your piece.
My name is Vibhuti, and I'm going to be playing Sacramonte.
Who's it by?
Joaquin Turina.
Nice. Well, Davy, what do you finish the piece? Because you played this last time, right?
I don't remember. Maybe half of it.
Half of it, right? Yeah, I remember this. This is great. So how was that performance for you? I'll ask you the same question, right? Like same thing I did with Ella. So other than learning more of the piece, if you compare this performance to the performance you did last week or the week earlier, what are the main differences that we're seeing?
Yeah, I completed more of the piece and I kind of understood the rhythm well. But I guess
Yeah.
when I was playing it, like I had a plan to go slower, but then my fingers like went faster than my mind was playing, so then I was just confused.
Does that happen to you, Ella? Does it sometimes your fingers just start going really fast? Yeah, me too. So how would we remedy that? What are some tactics that you would use, Vibhuti, to hold the tempo back?
I play hands separate again at the tempo I wanted to, and then like play hands together.
Yeah, you could definitely play hand separate really helps. As long as you've got a as long as you're tapping either physically or internally, right? So this is where the conducting really helps when we're practicing. The other thing that you could do as well is just make sure that you put the first beat and the third beat on a strong beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and because then it acts as an anchor, right? If there is no anchor, then we just fly. But if there's an anchor, then you know, oh, I've got to hit these posts here, the first beat and the third beat. It makes it easier, yeah? Playing it slow as well will mean that when you play all of these sections here, yeah, da, 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 da. I mean, throw your hands at the keys. Look how massive this difference in dynamic is. It's very quiet, then loud. Da, 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 da. Right? So I think if you can have a feeling of when you play quiet, how does your hand feel? How does it look? When you play loud, how is it going to feel? Is it going to be more of a rotation to the keys? Right? There should be a physical action that you relate to playing very quiet and loud. Yeah. Also, playing it a little slower will mean that you can get all of these notes here. Yeah, da, 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 da. These chords are quite thick, right? This kind of music is really rhythmic, but it also helps if you can heighten the articulation. But when you have these legatos or when you have the staccato, you really want them to be snappy, yeah, so that they come to life. There's a lot of instruction in the piece, right, Vibhuti?
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of direction there. So what you want to do is you want to observe them very carefully. Play it through slowly, as you said, right? Make sure that you're really feeling the first beat and the third beat, and then exaggerate everything that you see on the page. It'll just make it much clearer to hear. And then once you've done it at a slow speed and you can obey all the instruction, then level up from there. Okay. Cool. Ella, do you have any thoughts for Vibhuti? What are some things you feel that Vibhuti did well in that performance?
I think it's pretty stable.
Was that just a little closer to the mic, Ella?
The rhythm was pretty stable.
The rhythm, right? Yeah, yeah. And especially these kind of pieces. These I'm not quite sure. Do you know where Turina is from, Vibhuti?
No.
Could be South American. Could be Spanish. Turina. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, whatever the case is, whether you're coming from Spain or coming from South America, both places are very rhythmic with their music, right? Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Okay, cool, excellent. Listen back to both of your performances, Ella and Vibhuti, so you can make your own judgments of what you need to fix for next time. But these are great starts. Well done on bringing the piece for a second time. And we'll see you guys again at the next performance.